What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. So, we obviously know it's official. Going down August 22nd, Rolly Romero will be facing Teofimo Lopez, making his first title defense. So, in today's video, guys, I will be giving 5 reasons why Rolly Romero is going to beat Teofimo Lopez August 22nd. And I'm also going to be giving 3 concerns for Rolly Romero coming into this fight with Teofimo Lopez. But before we get any further into the video, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on notifications when you guys want to see when I upload new videos. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys disagree with my prediction and me giving my reasons why I think Rolly Romero is gonna win. And let me know if you guys, for you guys who think Rolly Romero is gonna win, let me know in the comments. And yeah, without any further ado, we will get into the video. So reason number 1 is probably self-explanatory, is the power. Listen, man, I know Teofimo Lopez has a very good chin, has faces on pretty hard hitters like Jermaine Ortiz, Arnold Barboza, even Steve Klagic. But the reason why I say the power, because if you guys look back at his first loss that he had to George Kambosos Jr., man, he dropped that guy in the first round. And, I know it seemed like, oh, he managed to handle the power, but like George Kambosos Jr., man, listen, man, George, I'm not going to take credit. You know, that fight with Teofimo was good, but I can't really say that George really had a big win, a pretty big win after that. He kind of had lost to like Valissi, lost to Devin Haney twice, lost to Richard Hitchens. So it was kind of like, okay. He was all right. But, Teo, eventually did drop him in the 11th round. But the thing is, man, he's moving up a weight class, and I think that the power is there. Listen, man, this guy, he managed to drop Ryan Garcia in that second round, and the thing is, I don't think coming into this fight, Teo's gonna walk in to some big shots from Rolly Romero. He sometimes, even when he fought Shakur Stevenson, even though Shakur Stevenson and Rolly Romero are, clearly on 2 different levels, 2 different style sets, but the thing is, he kept walking into too many big counter shots from Shakur Stevenson. Even with George Kambosos Jr. and Jermaine Ortiz, he kept walking in to those power shots. And I think he can if he's not careful enough, he will definitely walk in to those punches coming into this fight. Now, number 2 is Rolly Romero's fight IQ. Listen, man, Rolly Romero at 135 and 140. Rolly Romero's fight IQ wasn't the best. Listen, against Gervonta Davis, he managed to, whoop him for 6 rounds straight, but then he followed in right to Gervonta Davis' trap. Even though a lot of fighters do that too. But, he kind of would keep his chin up in the air. His hands would kind of be down low. So that's just a problem. That was a very big problem with when he was at 135. But 140, it kind of wasn't as bad. Even though, that fight, that fight with Pitbull Cruz happened. But I think stylistically, that Pitbull Cruz at that time, which is a bad matchup for Rolly Romero at the time. And at 147, I know it was only one, like you said, it was only one fight with Ryan Garcia, who was suspended, partying. I get it. But either way, Rolly did lose the first early rounds besides that second round where he dropped Ryan Garcia. Now, number 3 is the strength and the size. Rolly Romero is huge, man. He could probably go up to 154 if he really wants to. He's very huge. But even though I don't think that he would do that, I think what Rolly Romero should do coming into this fight is definitely put that weight on him. He's going to be the bigger fighter. So if you put that extra, when they're in those exchanges, try and put that weight pressure on Teofimo. That's exactly what George Kambosos Jr. kind of had success of in that fight, and that's what got him the win over Teofimo Lopez. And Rolly Romero is very good at doing that because even against Gervonta Davis, he managed to put that weight weight on Gervonta Davis, and that's one reason why Gervonta Davis was struggling against Rolly Romero in the first place. So that's another reason why I say so. And the fact is that, like I said, Teofimo was not used to getting with that strength and size, and I definitely think that's going to be a very big struggle for Teofimo Lopez. Even though I know Teofimo Lopez's physique and frame is very good, but against a huge guy Rolly's quite short but very huge, but also a very huge guy. I definitely see a lot of things, a lot of times in this fight, it's going to be a trouble for Teofimo Lopez. And against Ryan Garcia also struggled with the size. With the size and strength of Rolly Romero as well, which I think was another reason why it would cause him to lose. Listen, man, even if Ryan Garcia didn't have that that off day and didn't get suspended and was partying and stuff, I still think Ryan Garcia would have lost. I just think that Rolly Romero was just a better fighter at 147. Now, reason number four is that Teofimo is very cocky. Listen, man. Teofimo, the two times he lost were George Kimbo Jr. and Shakur Stevenson. And both of those fights is where he was cocky. Against George Kimbo Jr., I think he kind of, thought that he was going to have a big advantage over George. And, he got dropped in the first round, man. Even though, like I said, he had a lot of success. But against Shakur Stevenson, that cockiness was there. And the reason why that cockiness was there, because he thought he could try out box Shakur Stevenson. And that's cockiness. You having a game plan to try and outbox a fighter who outboxes other fighters? To me, guys, that I don't know what with some of you guys, but to me, that's cocky, man. And sometimes, sometimes he'll be leaving his hands down, but he's kind of used to that. But sometimes he gets hit with very big shots, even against a fighter like Jermaine Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz managed to land pretty big counter shots on Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez still was, standing up though, but he definitely felt that power of Jermaine Ortiz. And I also feel like Teofimo sometimes doesn't really respect fighters' powers, the power of fighters as much. But sometimes it can be a good thing, but sometimes it can also be a very bad thing. I feel like that was another reason why he lost to Shakur, because he wasn't respecting the power. Shakur may not hit the hardest, guys, but I just think that Teofimo was he doesn't really hit hard. I could just do this extra. I'm trying to outbox him. And that really wasn't the case. But now, number 5 is probably the most important reason of this entire list is that Teofimo Lopez is still with his father. And the reason why I say this is that I think that Teofimo should have at least got another trainer, like a Robert Garcia. Like Robert Garcia, I think if he switched his trainer and had Robert Garcia as his coach, I may have or maybe just a different coach, like maybe even Canelo's coach, for an example. I may have been gone with Teofimo, but the fact is, man, he's still with his father. And listen, man, the reason why I say that, because I know his father, helped him become a 2-time Division World Champion. I get it, but you also got to think about this. His father was also probably the main reason, probably one of the 3 main reasons why he lost to Shakur Stevenson. His father in that fight with Shakur Stevenson wasn't telling Teofimo, you gotta stop outboxing him. You gotta do this instead to try and win some rounds against Shakur Stevenson. The entire time, if you guys hear what he was saying, he was like, "Oh, where's that power at? Where's that footwork? Consistently where's that power? I need that power." And listen, man, sometimes you need that, but when you're getting outboxed like that, you can't have the power because you can't. Because listen, you could try and knock somebody out with the power. I get it, but when you're getting beat up, you want to try and do something else, and his father didn't give him the right directions on what he should have done in that fight. So those are my 5 reasons why I think Rolly Romero is gonna beat Teofimo Lopez. But I have 3 concerns for Rolly Romero. Concern number 1 is the footwork, man. Rolly Romero, he's quite big. He knows how to block punches very well. He knows how to land the counter shots when you're coming in close. But, you know, his footwork, I think, is something that he definitely still probably needs to be improved on a lot. And Teofimo Lopez has very good footwork. And that footwork is what led him to dominating Arnold Barboza in their fight. He was frustrating Arnold Barboza. Arnold Barboza wasn't landing the shots that he wanted to in that fight, and that was caused him to get frustrated when he fought Teofimo Lopez. And Rolly Romero, sometimes throughout fights, what I've seen is that when somebody's moving their head consistently, he kind of tends to try and throw a little more, which we haven't seen too much of that at 147 with his new style. But like I said, one fight, it was one fight at 147. I don't know if Teofimo Lopez consistently keeps moving his head throughout this entire fight. It could definitely be a very big struggle here for Rolly Romero. Especially if Teofimo adds the feints to it, adds that jab, blinds it with that jab, lands that right hand all night. It definitely will be a very big struggle for Rolly Romero. Now, number 2 is Rolly's chin. Rolly has a record of 17 wins with 2 losses. Both of those losses coming by way of knockout to Gervonta Davis and Isaac Cruz. Now, I'm not trying to say that Teofimo hits harder than both those fighters. But what I am trying to say is that he lost both those fights because he consistently kept dropping his hands, and because he gets clipped quite often. Even in that fight with that Barrios guy, I forgot his name. He got clipped with a very big shot that I think he got dropped and almost got dropped in that fight. So his chin is one thing that can be very concerning, especially if he keeps getting hit by that lead right hand from Teofimo Lopez. If he keeps getting hit with that right hand from Teofimo Lopez, he could go down. Even though Teofimo Lopez doesn't consistently have a bunch of knockouts, but he tends to find openings for big counter shots. And obviously, against Arnold Barboza managed to survive those counter shots. I don't know if Rolly keeps getting hit from those big counter shots from Teofimo Lopez. I don't necessarily know if Rolly Romero is going to be able to handle that the same way like a guy like Arnold Barboza can, like a guy like George Kamboja Jr. can, like a Jermaine Ortiz can, because he's already been dropped and rocked quite a few times throughout his boxing career. But now, the number 3, the third concern I have here for Rolly Romero is the move up and weight for Teofimo Lopez. Listen, man, Teofimo Lopez, man, he said it himself. He had a bad weight cut against Shakur Stevenson. And you can even tell by the scales, like, he looked like he was a little bit drained. And knowing that he's going up to 147, I definitely could see that being a problem, because knowing that the weight cut's going to be a little bit more easier on him. Obviously, he's going to be moving up 7 pound, like a 7 pound difference. It's going to be like a 6 or 7 pound difference coming into this fight. But this also could be good for Rolly Romero at the same time, because Ryan Garcia, that was his first time at 147, and he got beat pretty bad. Even though I get it was an off day for Ryan Garcia, but still, moving up in weight, man. Moving up in weight may seem a little bit more easier than cutting weight, but at the same time, it's not, because you're also putting on extra weight on you. But I also think that it's going to be a little bit more easier. I think Teofimo could definitely be fighting a little bit more calm at this weight. But now, those are my 5 reasons and 3 concerns why I think Rolly Romero is going to beat Teofimo Lopez. Like I said, comment down below if you guys do think Rolly Romero is going to win, or do you guys disagree with me and you guys think Teofimo Lopez is going to win. I personally think Rolly Romero is going to beat Teofimo Lopez, and I think he's going to break him, and he could possibly knock out Teofimo Lopez in this fight. But that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on notifications when you guys do want to see when I upload new videos. Thank you all for 138 subscribers, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.